Well, hello there. Welcome to another episode of The Ultimate Creative with me, your host, Emily Milling. Yes, I'm still batch recording. Yes, there's still a Christmas tree here, but you know what? Batch recording my podcast and my videos makes it easier for me to enjoy my time off from my creative business. And so today, we're talking about setting up accounting for your creative business. That was a really dumb segue, but we're going with it, all right? Because accounting for your business is super frickin' important. And if you don't want to end up like me with a $10,000 tax bill literally every time it's tax season, you should probably listen or watch or whatever this episode. It's very noisy in here today. All right, first up, if you are starting a creative business and you have not yet gotten yourself a business license, that's the very first thing you want to do. In Ontario, you get a master business license. It's like $60. It's super duper cheap, and you register your business name and you're good to go. You get to unlock a whole world of other things, specifically opening up a bank account that is just for your business. The reason you want to have a separate bank account for all of your business transactions is because if you've got like a computer you purchased coming out of your personal account and not out of your business account, well, you're probably going to get taxed a shitload more, first of all. You can game the system too, friends. You absolutely can. Maybe you have unruly office workers that you're working with in your business, and in the afternoon they're like so grouchy, and you're like, well, maybe I can buy them an espresso machine to calm them down in the middle of the day. That should go through your business bank account and be a business expense so that you don't get taxed a bajillion extra dollars on it. Plus, you get the HST write-off if you have an HST number, and you need that if you're making more than $30,000 a year in Ontario or in Canada, whatever. Figure it out for wherever you live. That's just what it is for where I live. You need to have a separate because it's gonna make it a lot easier for your accountant at the end of the year to go through your books and be like, okay, great, this is 100% super duper easy. It's gonna be cheaper for you. I'm just trying to save you money, okay? The other thing that you should do is listen to Melissa Houston's podcast, The Business Society. It's a podcast that my team at The Ultimate Creative produces. It's so good. It's like essential for any business owner, no matter what, to listen to. Listen to all she has to say about business finance. The next thing you need to do is set up some sort of accounting system. It could be Wave. I use Wave. There is a free version of Wave as well. It just has like ads, and it's still a super awesome platform to use. You could use Quickbooks. You could use Freshbooks. You could use Honeybook. There's a bajillion different books you can use, whatever. Choose one, stick with it, go with it. If you don't like it, then go to something else. It doesn't have to be like the one I use or the one somebody else is using. It just has to be somewhere where you can track all of your transactions and the money flowing in and out of your account. That's literally the exact same thing. I just said the exact same thing. So the transactions will be the money flowing in and out of your business account. Remember, you need a separate business account. Do not put this through your personal account, please, for the love of God. It's not going to be a good situation. In your accounting software, you need to set up your chart of accounts. What does that mean? It's very simple. It's just categories. It's like my budget for meals and entertainment. I will be using that budget to treat one of my clients to dinner tonight. There are some really good benefits to putting everything through your business. I'm telling you, when you're an entrepreneur, you get crafty. Like with your creative, crafty business. Okay, I'll stop that now. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. So you've got your categories in your accounting system. You assign transactions to each of these categories every single time a transaction comes through. It's actually super easy. You could do this like for 5 minutes once a week, or 10 minutes every 2 weeks, or 15 minutes every 3 weeks, or 20 minutes every 4 weeks, whatever you want to do. I don't know, it's your life. You figure it out. But I like to do it like once a week, 5 minutes. It takes me 0 time. And I also put in if there is HST, so harmonized sales tax here in Ontario, that's 13% of all of the transactions, the transactions? It's 13% on top of the price that I charge my clients for their podcast production. And then anything that I buy that has HST on it, like a meal, perhaps out at a restaurant, I take that HST and then I deduct that from what I've collected, and then I file a report later. Anyway, you put that all into your accounting system so that you have a very clear picture of how much money you've got, how much you need to put into a separate account for your HST remittance or your tax remittance. You keep track of your profit, you keep track of how much you're paying your contractors, how much you're paying yourself, all of these different things. Do that in your accounting system. And this is super essential, super important for you to do. Oh man, you need a way to track your sales. You need a way to track your sales because like if you've got like random cash coming in at you from all over the place, specifically like my fiance, whose business accounts were a little bit of a disaster before I got my meaty little hands on them. Anyway, if you've got money coming in from all over the place, like you have to have a clear understanding of what all of these different places are. So, for example, you could have a Shopify, and that's selling a product, right? Or you could have WooCommerce, like a WordPress website that you sell a subscription on. Or you could just do invoicing through your accounting software, so through Quickbooks, through Wave, through Freshbooks, whatever that is. You need to have a way to track that. Because you also need to have a way to follow up with the people who are delinquent and do not pay you on time. But you need policies to make sure that they pay you on time. And also you can charge interest when they don't pay you on time because like nobody needs to be here for that. That's just foolishness. So find a way to track all of your sales. This is essential for reporting, understanding how much money you've made through the whole year, what you need to save for your taxes, all of these different things. Put it in one place if you possibly can and make sure that you know how to use it properly. I also want to talk about this. You should have a running tally of your profit at all times in your business so that you know exactly how much to put away for your taxes when it comes to tax season. You might have a fiscal year end like my stupid fiscal year end, which is on June 30th. By June 30th, I need to have a certain number of dollars in my account or already paid to the CRA so that I don't have to have a giant, massive $10,000 tax bill, which has happened to me on multiple occasions. I don't want that to happen to you, which is why I'm telling you this. Keep a running tally of the profit in your business. So all of your sales minus how much you spent on things to make those sales happen. That could be subcontractors, that could be office supplies, that could be the apps that you use. Maybe you use like Asana, like a scheduling tool for your team. It could be like literally anything you spend money on for your business, meals and entertainment, perhaps. Entertain yourself, why not? Get some takeout, you're working hard, do it, it's for you. Make sure that you're tracking all of this stuff and subtract that from the amount of sales you've made. What's left over is your profit. That's what you're gonna get taxed on, okay? And figure out what the tax rates are for your particular situation. They're all different. Mine is currently, because my business makes under $500,000 a year at this moment in time, my tax rate for my corporation is 12.9%. So 12.9% on the profit that I have earned so far equals whatever the number is, because I don't know. I think my current profit is, well, I'll tell you, my current profit is around $3,000 for the last 6 months. And that sounds really tiny, but this is strategic, okay? I'm gonna let you in on a secret here. My revenue is over $60,000. My profit, because I pay myself on a payroll, I pay my subcontractors, and I pay for a bunch of other things through my business that are business expenses, the profit is a very, very small amount. So I currently only owe in corporate taxes for the end of the year like $300. Like, it's really not a lot of money. This is why it's important to keep a tally of the profit, because like, what if instead you just took dividends? And dividends being like, you just send yourself e-transfers. I used to do this all the time. What if you did that and you didn't know how much you were actually taking out? So like the $20,000 that you sent yourself after you got a big contract or something, you didn't put away extra tax money for that. And by the way, you're going to be taxed personally very differently than for corporate. So this is going to be different for everyone. You got to talk to an accountant about what's the best plan for you. But just as a heads up, you are going to be taxed on the profit of your business. So keep a running tally of that at all times. What I want to talk about now is understanding what you need to look for in an accountant or a bookkeeper if you choose to hire out for that. First of all, I think it's absolutely essential that you understand your business finances. If you don't understand them, if you need a crash course, go check out my amazing client, Melissa Houston. She's got a course on this. She teaches people business finance stuff all the time and to make your life easier so that you know what you're doing. I went from having like $10,000 tax bills every year and not knowing how the fuck to pay them to having $300 tax bills, right? Like I was just talking about. Like it can actually happen if you know what you're doing. But anyway, once you understand sort of the back end of your bookkeeping and your corporate structure, your business structure, the accounting side of it, it's going to be much easier to find an accountant that won't fuck you over. Like a couple of the ones that I had before I understood what my books meant. Because like, they're not going to tell you. Unless it's my current accountant, I will drop her name in the show notes because she is amazing. But she is an exception, let me tell you. I went through bookkeepers and accountants that just said, okay, now you owe this much. And I was like, but how? And they never gave me the strategy to understand how to pay myself, for example, so that I wouldn't have an excess amount of taxes to pay later. They never gave me the strategy to understand like how to, like what things could be written off as business expenses versus like paying them out of pocket instead. And I ended up paying so much more money, and I paid them a lot of money just to tell me this stuff. So there are not good accountants out there, and there are not good bookkeepers out there. And frankly, there are bookkeepers out there who like, if they're charging you like $50, you gotta take a hike, man. You do not want to pay less than $2,000 for someone to do your taxes at the end of the year. Otherwise, you're just totally screwing yourself over. Build it into your entire budget. Don't cheap out on this stuff. I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, I don't want you to have a $10,000 tax bill. And I'll say that till the day I die. So that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed this, if you want more of this, you can find me on TikTok, on YouTube. I guess I'm on Instagram too. Here I am on Instagram. And on the podcast, the Ultimate Creative Podcast, it is for people who want to create a creative business and need to know what the fuck they're doing. I've also got programs that I'm running that help people just like you to figure out how to do their business. It's like a crash course for creative business. It's new, it's fun, it's fresh. If you're interested in that, send me an email, emily@theultimatecreative.com, and I will get you on the list for the information. It's an exclusive, very tight little group, 5 people maximum at a time, so you get mega super focus on your business and your needs specifically, and I will help you to get your business started so you can have all that time freedom you want, all that money you want, all the things that you want, because I know it's possible, because I do it all the time. It's my life right now. It's really friggin' cool. Anyway, that's all. Like you, love you, bye!